Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 5 December 2017. Got a little from the sharpening bench video for you all this evening. And these are my favorite kind. I just love it when I get an email from Canada from a guy named Way North on the forums. We all know him and love him as Charlie Campagna, the father of the Tom's Choice Barlow by GEC. And I got an email from Charlie a month or so ago saying he wanted to send me some knives to sharpen, which is always an interesting thing. Because, I feel an immense amount of pressure when I'm sharpening traditional pocket knives for Charlie because they're always so special. So he sent me 5 of them to do this time. One of them is a return from last year, and let's look at that. This is the Willamette Whittler from Northwoods Knives. It's actually a half Whittler on the GEC number 38 frame. And you can see this knife has been used by Charlie. In fact, all these knives are users. Got a little patina, got some scratching on the blade. I asked Charlie if he wanted me to clean that up. He said, no, don't think so. I think that's the right choice. What's that knife going to be worth 30 years from now after, well, let's say 50 years from now after Charlie's gone? And it comes out of his personal collection. Bought new and used with love. Oh man, that 1095 takes such a beautiful edge. So there's the warning, and then here's the pen. Even got some use on that pen blade. So we got that all ready to go, sharpened, cleaned, oiled. And then for those of you who haven't seen these, this is a 2017 Blade Forums Forum knife. The Sheep's Foot Tom's Choice Barlow in natural canvas micarta with satin hardware and satin no etch blade. This was a brand new and tube knife. Charlie's personal collection piece. And I just sharpened up the factory edge on that one. Ooh, yeah. So that's that. And then, over the summer, when I was talking with Charlie at the Great Eastern Cutlery Rendezvous, Charlie had lamb's foot on the brain. He's had lamb's foot on the brain for quite a while. What's a lamb's foot? Well, in its, I guess, most traditional form, it's rather a large frame, slightly sway-backed, bare end jack, and here's the blade. Not a sheep's foot, but a lamb's foot. Notice how the blade is taller at the base than it is at the tip, so we've got a pretty good taper, and then a little steeper rake than a sheep's foot, more wornish. Now this knife is an A. Wright knife from Sheffield. So a modern produced traditional pocket knife from Sheffield, England. I did cut myself, doggone it. How did I do that? Did I poke myself with that Willamette? I think I did. Now these are not expensive knives. In fact, I would characterize the blade grind as the British equivalent of a queen knife. Not sure what was going on in this area. There's sort of a, like they started and stopped a drawn swedge and it's kind of left a swale in the blade. But the reason that Charlie sent this knife, and I think the reason he bought it is because he is percolating an idea for a new Great Eastern Cutlery pattern. Word on the street is it might even be a little larger than this. I think this knife's about 4 inches closed. Let's see. A little over 4 inches, about 4 1/16. So Keep your eyes open for a new lamb's foot pattern from GEC. So that one's sharpened, and then here's a couple so cool. I don't know how old this knife is, and I got a feeling these covers might be celluloid, but this is a brand called Era, E-R-A, James Barber Sheffield. And this is just a, golly, I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. Just a gorgeous little half Congress with a sheep's foot. No half steps, just cam tangs. And a pen, nice broad usable pen. Nice patina. Just beautiful walk and talk on both blades. Now this one really, this gave me fits. When I pulled this out of the knife roll and called Charlie, I was really in a quandary because as with a lot of old sheep's foot blades, the tip of this one, it was gone. There was probably a 3/8 radius on the end of that thing. I asked Charlie what he wanted me to do with it. He said, well, Rob, what would you do with it? I said, well, if it were mine, I would tip the knife. And he said, well, why don't you do that? Notice it's got a drawn swedge on both sides. That presents a little bit of a problem because the knife has such a beautiful patina. So what I do if I retip a sheep's foot blade, I'm not going to remove material up the blade from the entire cutting edge. That would be wasteful. So what I did instead is I took it all off the tip of the knife in this direction, matching the old angle, and then once I got it to a point or very close to a point, then I had to reapply that drawn swedge, and then I forced a little patina just using a gun blue pen, and I think I matched it pretty well in texture and in color. So Charlie, if you're watching, I hope you're happy with that. So we've got a restored Wharncliffe blade. And as usual, I think I had to do a little, I guess I didn't have to do any kick maintenance on that knife. Maybe could have on the pen blade. That tip's awful close. Did have to augment the sharpening notches just a little bit on both blades. But that thing is looking good and it's awful sharp. Beautiful old pocket knife. And then here's sort of the pièce de résistance of the 5 that Charlie sent. Check this out. This is a Case XX boy's knife from the late 60s. Many people say the golden age of W.R. Case & Sons cutlery. And just take a close look at this thing. Look at those bone covers. Obviously, the covers were profiled before jigging. Look how close the jigging comes to the edge. The only way you can do that is to do any rounding prior to jigging and then apply the jigging. Just beautifully done. If you guys are familiar with the GEC number 14 pattern, notice this is a little smaller than the 15, right? This is very close to the size of the number 14 Lick Creek boy's knife, except this is a clip main instead of a spear. And just look at that. Perfect clip point blade. Just lovingly cared for and used. Had to pay special attention to the tip on this knife. A clip point needs to have a good point, and it does. Didn't have to do anything with that kick either. Did have to open up the notch just a little bit, it was about used up from prior sharpening. Nice little bit of patina. And check out the walk and talk on that thing. Beautiful. And a stout spring on the pen even. Check it out. Just a beautifully made knife. When I look at the 21st century knives being produced by GEC, and then I see one of these case double X's from the 60s, it's pretty obvious this is what Bill Howard was shooting for. When I think about the thinness of the grinds, the precision of the grinds, the beautiful actions, the hafting and the finishing of the handle, this is it. They are beautiful. Just thought you'd like to see them before they make their way back up to the way north. Charlie, thank you for trusting me with your prized possessions, your prides and joys. I do appreciate it. Man, that's a pretty nice looking set of 5, don't you think? That's all for this one, my friends. Just thought you'd like to see them. Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. And remember, the word is sharp.